send comments or questions, and we've got a moderator that will pick them up and send them to me, and I'll use them. So welcome everyone, and Kim, thank you very much for taking the time today to share your insights.
Sure.
So my name is Alon. I'm founder of FitMate Coach, and very briefly, we provide lifestyle change coaching for nutrition, physical activity, and other factors for weight loss. People are paired with a human coach to help them make changes on all these factors, quite at the level of details, and keep them accountable to it. We're very excited to have Kim today. Kim has a wealth of knowledge to share about her weight loss journey experience, in part also because she used some of the weight loss medications, which is very interesting and of course quite topical. And we're very excited to chat. So let's just get straight to it. I think we're going to have like a few tens of minutes of chat, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. And that sounds good, Kim?
Sounds good.
Awesome. So Kim, tell us first a little bit more about maybe a bit your weight loss journey, even before you started medication and during the medication, once you took it, but before you started thinking of kind of lifestyle changes in the way you've done in the last few months.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been, like, I was 350 pounds for probably 10 years, and up and down, and I've had quite the journey. With that, just trying different things, trying keto and different things. And then got connected with a doctor that had said she had vetted a pharmacy for the tirzepatide. So that gave me some confidence, and it was expensive. So I had to give up something else in order to pay for it, but it was worth it. But then I'm like, well, if I'm going to pay this much for this medication, I'm going to do it right. I'm going to do it this time. So yeah, I write down everything I've eaten. I've done that for 478 days now in my app. And the app tells me how long I've been doing it. And then I didn't start exercising until about 9 months into doing it because it was too difficult for me to exercise. But now I can. And so I stick with that. Yeah.
Amazing. And again, whilst you were then during taking the meds, can you tell us a little bit more about the successes you had in terms of things you saw worked, and also some of the challenges you had, like plateaus or side effects or things like that,
Yeah, it worked right away, even on a low dose. I lost more in the beginning than I did later on. Now I'm down to about 8 pounds a month that I'm losing, but I lost 140. So I'm down to 210, which is awesome. It feels great. And so I was losing probably, well, for the first year or so, I was losing about 10 pounds a month, which is unusual. I don't think that's the norm. But I keep my calories under 1,800. I mostly focus on that. I try to increase my protein. And then now, because of FitMate, increasing my fiber, because my coach suggested that. But I was really worried that I was going to do what I've done before, which is to have school start. So I'm a teacher, have school start in this fall, and then not stick with my goals, which I tend to do. So I was really afraid of that. Like the first year was like, I could stick with what I had planned. But then after that, I was like, I'm not losing as much as fast. And like you said, I have plateaus. And when that happens, I just get frustrated, I guess. I don't know.
Interesting. What medication was it, by the way, if I can ask?
It's tirzepatide. It's compounded tirzepatide.
I see. And so you felt there were a couple of plateaus, which brings kind of a thing that, some people say, or many even say, that GLP-1s do all the work. Once you take them, tirzepatide. What was the biggest misconception you had about what medication could do and kind of how you experienced that?
I knew it wasn't going to do all the work, so I had that. I was concerned about side effects, but I don't really have any. So that was good. I mean, even though I'm on 12.5 milligrams now, and I still don't have anything that's not manageable. And I guess one of my misconceptions was it's too expensive. I can't do this. And when I figured out that if I just give up this one thing, then I'd be able to afford it, because I was paying $600 a month for the first year, and then I found a place that sells it for $330 a month. So
interesting.
Doing that now.
And okay, so you started taking the medication, lost a tremendous amount of weight, had great success, then felt some plateaus. And so is the plateaus what led you to want to make the lifestyle changes along tirzepatide? Or?
Yeah, when school got out in June, I thought I was kind of at a plateau at that point. I'd kind of been at the same-ish weight for, maybe less 3 pounds that month. So I decided I needed to exercise. So I didn't start that till June of this year. And that kind of helped me get over the plateau, I think. And then I knew I needed to keep doing that.
Interesting. And the plateau, you think, has to do with kind of the calorie burn, so to speak, at the end, and you needed to kind of find a way to push it further, or?
Yeah, I think it's definitely got a lot to do with that. I know that there's people that exercise and don't lose weight, so it's still about the calorie deficit more than anything. Can you hear the dog whining?
That's fine.
Okay. I need to let him out. My son's not here. But yeah, I knew that it would add to what I'm already doing. I knew that would help.
Okay. And so now let's talk now about the second phase, which is adding lifestyle changes to the medication. Can you tell us a little bit more about what changed? So in June, you were kind of mostly focusing on taking the tirzepatide, and then what happened after June? You mentioned a bit of exercise, but tell us more about exercise, nutrition, what changed?
Oh, okay. All right. Well, when I started exercising, I couldn't really do much more than like 8 minutes. So I started at 8 minutes walking. And that's partly because I have long COVID, so I have difficulty breathing. So it was 8 minutes and then 10 minutes, and I've worked up to 25 minutes. So I can go around the track nearby twice. So I still walk pretty slow just because my breathing, but I don't have to stop anymore. I think losing the weight has helped me, so I don't have to stop when I walk. Otherwise, I would normally, like if I went around a normal track, I'd probably just stop like at least 4 times just to catch my breath. So yeah, that helped. And then the other exercise that I do, I have a virtual reality headset, and I play this game called Supernatural. So I do that. And again, I was starting at like 10 minutes and then worked my way up to that.
Is that a cardio exercise?
Is it what?
Is it like cardio? It's doing cardio, or like is it walking?
Cardio. Yeah. So you have these things that come at you, and you hit them with these bats, or you can do boxing, and then like you have to duck and weave for different things coming at you. There's these triangles that come at you, and you have to get your head under the triangle. So it's quite a challenge.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's been really fun though. Like I actually look forward to it. Whereas I would normally not look forward to exercise.
Would you like to take a moment, take care of the dog?
Yeah.
I can wait. Yeah.
Sorry about that. I didn't realize that the dog was in here.
Yeah. And so okay, so that's and still on exercise. So you've increased the cardio. What about personal training? Resistance training, strength training for the lean mass. Is that something that is on your horizon?
I am doing very little with it right now. I don't really I know how, but I don't necessarily know what exactly to do.
Sure.
I mean, I've done it in the past, but I don't remember enough to do it. So I've Also, because we have really horrible weather here in Washington, where it gets rainy, I can't go outside and walk. Plus, it gets really cold. So I bought an elliptical trainer to also do cardio with that in place of the walking. And with that, it comes as iFit app, where you have these people that like take you on walks while you're doing it. But they also have resistance training videos too.
Amazing.
So I do that sometimes. I just started seeing a personal trainer last week, so I'm going to be doing that as well for the resistance training.
Amazing. I'm obviously mentioning it because especially in the context of taking weight loss medication, one of the risk factors is loss of lean mass whilst losing weight, and so the resistance training obviously.
Yeah, that was one of the main reasons why I wanted to start exercise. Actually, I didn't want to show you what my arms look like. I definitely have a lot of loose skin because I mean I had so much to lose, and I was at 350 for so long that there's some extra skin there.
Okay. So some further work on that, but obviously from a simpler basis. Okay, so we talked about physical activity. Thank you for sharing. So a gradual increase, amazing kind of. It's one of the things we say at FitMate. It almost doesn't matter where you start. What matters is to start and then to increase rather than the all or nothing approach. And I'm sure we're going to get back to it. But I want to know a little bit more about other changes you've done. Can you tell us about kind of nutrition? In order to manage plateaus, exercise was one part. Tell us more about kind of how you change your nutrition.
I first started trying to have like 2,400 calories or less, and that was low for me, what I was eating before. And then I just kind of slowly worked my way down to now I try to keep under 1,800 calories.
And sorry to interrupt you, but to help our viewers, 2,400, I guess, was the original number that you needed to that you needed to achieve, given your weight at the time, in order to lose weight. And as your weight went down, suddenly that number obviously dropped down to say 1,900. I understand. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at first I was able to lose weight on that, but then not so much. So I started going down. And like I said, I think the key to the whole thing is writing down what I eat every day. I use the Lose It app, write down everything. So it's awareness more than anything, but also having the medication helps me stick to my plan. Like I don't overeat at meals. I know what's going to be about 400 calories for a meal. So that's how much I eat, and I'm satisfied with it because I'm not hungry. And it also helps me not crave things all the time and go off to restaurant. Well, we eat out a lot, but I pick better choices now when we eat out.
Tell us more about that. So one side of the equation on nutrition is to stay within a calorie limit. The other side of the equation is obviously what you eat in that calorie limit that helps you stay within it almost. What were your learnings of what worked for you? And stick to the calorie limits.
I finally sort of found out that protein was a big part of this. So I try to keep my protein up above 90 grams a day. But I didn't really do that at first. So I was watching what I ate and I was writing it down, which was like huge just to start with. But then eventually started looking at the macros and trying to keep like my fat under a certain amount and my protein up and that kind of thing.
And protein, again, for our viewers, I imagine this is because protein helps keep you full longer.
Yes. Also, I heard that it helps you with muscle loss.
Absolutely. Yeah. And tell us, okay, it's interesting because as much as people sometimes underestimate how much they eat, they also underestimate how much protein they take. It's not that easy to reach a certain target. And I don't know, how did you achieve, because indeed at FitMate, we promote very strongly hitting protein targets because it's probably the most satiety calorie. It's the calorie that keeps you full for longest, which is easier to hit your calorie targets. But then the devil is in the execution. what sort of things are you now eating proteins that you may not have done before? What's your, what worked for you?
Well, I do try to get like 30 grams in each meal. That's kind of like my goal. And the other thing is to eat that first and then eat other things. So if I get full, I've at least had my protein.
Oh, I like that. So you've got a very simple framework, 30 grams every day, every meal.
Yeah.
Eat that first. And after that, it's bonus almost.
Right. After that, you get to eat the other things. Yeah. But it wasn't until I started with FitMate that I started adding in a fiber goal. My coach recommended that, which I had never focused on that in the past. I kind of knew you're supposed to, but I never figured out like how it helps. And she talked to me about both protein and fiber helping with satiety. And it has. And so like I finally said it, like I would just record it and maybe look at it now and then, but I didn't have a goal in that area. And so now my goal is 25 grams a day of fiber. And I've been able to meet and exceed that with my coach's suggestions.
Yeah, fiber is definitely the area that also people underestimate, which really helps keep people full. I mean, just to unpack that, if you don't mind, because it's something that is so key in the part of staying full within a calorie limit. So just to help a little bit, so fiber obviously are basically the carbs that are more full in fiber. So when people say, don't eat carbs, it's actually kind of more like when don't eat processed carbs, where the fiber has been removed. And again, just to help a little bit, kind of, there's kind of three types, right? Green leafy vegetables that are very high, beans and legumes, and as well as whole grains. But that target you said, 30 grams, 25 grams.
25, yeah.
It's quite a high target because 100 grams of broccoli only has 2 grams of fiber. So
yeah.
What concrete differences did you make to eat your fiber target?
Oh, so every morning I have an apple, and I like them. So that's got about 7 or 8 grams, depending on how big it is. And then a protein shake. So I get my protein and my fiber. And the protein shake has 3 grams of fiber. So I get like 10 or 11 in the morning just to start off with. So it's always a good breakfast and it satisfies me until lunch. I don't get lunch until about 12:30. And I'm usually fine. I'm also teaching and busy, but and then the coach has taught me like different things that would go with it, and she keeps suggesting things that I would never eat, like lentils. I don't even know what to do with that. So
okay. So you have it. I'd love you to go through the rest of your day because I'm fascinated. So your morning, it's a very clear approach to get your 10 grams of fiber. And apologies, everyone. I agree with Kim. We need to be very mathematical about it, almost to make it work. And actually, when you do, it's like a recipe. It just, it just works. So you got your 10 grams of fiber through the apple and the protein shake, which also gives you, I guess, your 30 grams of protein that you mentioned. Tell us more about a typical lunch for you.
Going through the day. So for lunch.
By the way, sorry to interrupt, but it's very interesting that keeps you full, and you've made it. You've kind of made this comment in passing, but it's an incredible achievement because. But I'm not surprised given how much nutritious this food is. But tell us about the lunch now.
So for lunch, I'm at school and I only have half an hour. So usually like a frozen meal, but I choose ones that have more protein in them. And then like maybe like chili, so it's got the beans and the protein. I might have like a handful of peanuts to kind of add to the protein.
And sorry, again, one other thing in FitMate is we're down to execution. So, often it's down to execution. So you bring your frozen food with you?
Well, I bought a freezer to have at school. So we have room for it. So I always have them there. I also have my like fudge bars, but they're only 100 calories. So I have a treat if I need to, like after school.
Yeah, it's interesting because, people talk about, adapt your environment, things like, if you don't want to eat sweets at night, you just need to take them completely off your shelf. And I think your version of adapting your environment is buy me one freezer. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I bought a little crock pot too, so I can have like hot soup or hot chili.
Not give it a chance. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah. So,
and just to move on. So tell us about any snacks or dinner, so we can get a full picture of your ideal day.
so snacks, I've got carrots as an option. I've got protein bars, which I realize is a processed food, but it's got protein and fiber both in it. And I can't think right now what I eat for snacks. I do have that fudgesicle like either in the afternoon or evening. Like I said, it's only 100 calories, so it fits. Yeah.
And then the dinner will look like lunch, or?
No, we often eat out, which isn't great, but I kind of know like what restaurants I can go to that will have something I can eat. So I might have like a Caesar salad, where everybody else is having a hamburger, but I'm satisfied with that.
How'd you do it? How are you doing? How are you not going down to pressure?
Oh, because of the tears appetite. Yeah. With the tears appetite, the medication is helping me make better choices and be more conscious of my choices.
Okay.
Also, I know I'm going to write it down, so that's part of it.
Yeah. Okay, so to wrap up now, I think you gave us a very complete picture of adding cardio, adding some resistance training gradually for the lean mass to help loosen it. Hit your protein and fiber target to both stay full, and the proteins, to preserve lean mass as well. That's an incredible turnaround.
From what I was eating before, absolutely.
There's a before and after in terms of how the menu looks like. I'm not going to ask you to tell us. I mean, of course, you can share how it was before, but.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think my breakfast and lunch were fine, but it was dinners and it was the snacks and it was the eating out and making poor choices when we eat out and overeating.
Okay.
On meals. Like now I might have like half of it and bring half of it home, whereas before I would eat the whole thing.
Got it. So. Yeah, it's actually crazy because, again, just to share my experience with that is people can end up making amazing choices. And I think you're giving a good example. They can make very good choices about, not too much milk in the coffee and really control the morning and the after and the lunch, and suddenly almost blow it up at dinner. Especially when you eat out and you're not in control of a couple of factors, whether it's the oils or the sugar. And even if something looks like a good choice, the sheer quantity plus the fatty or sugary thing blow up the calorie. And then people don't understand that actually once you're in control of that part, losing weight, they say, is kind of 500 calorie deficit a day or something. That 500 usually lies in that meal, and controlling that meal is almost 90% of the battle sometimes.
It's really that before you eat at the restaurant. So it's the chips and salsa at a Mexican restaurant or the breadsticks at Olive Garden. And so now I just like set aside how many chips I'm going to eat. And then that's my part. So I know because that's one that's like huge in calories is the chips.
Yeah.
And then the breadsticks, I just have one, and I can do that now. I also, sometimes I just don't go with my husband and son to the restaurant. I'll stay home and make soup and let them go out, and I'm satisfied with that. So
incredible. Yeah. On the chips one, what I do is I'm famous where I tell the waiter to take it away, and I just learned to be unpopular with friends, but because I cannot have one or two, so it's much easier for me when, again, talking about changing environment, it's easier for me to just make that decision to take it away, and then I don't think about it anymore. Now, what was the outcome of all of this? So you had a plateau in the summer, and then how much weight do you estimate you've lost between kind of June, July, when you started doing these lifestyle changes, and now?
So
August and now,
yeah, I was probably 240 maybe when school got out in June.
Yeah.
So lost another 30. And then I found FitMate like in August. So I've,
And how much have you lost from August to now?
16 pounds.
That's
Your app
incredible.
tells me like every day when I enter my weight, it tells me like how much I've lost.
So 16 pounds over roughly 13 weeks. It's actually kind of almost a little bit over a pound a week, which is really kind of
that's my goal. Yeah. I
That's-
try to do that. I got the sun in my eyes, but yeah.
it's incredible. Now, tell us a bit, if that's okay with you, about coaching. I mean, why did you decide to use a coach? I mean, in this occasion, FitMate coach. But why did you decide to do that and not just try it by yourself? Or what's?
Well, the first year wasn't that bad. I was super motivated, but I'm worried about like losing that motivation as I get closer to my goal weight. And then like when I'm maintaining my goal weight, it's hard to like to make all these changes and like keep them up when you're not losing weight. Like I knew that was coming because I'd like to get to 175. That's like my goal. But I knew that maintenance was going to be difficult. I've done it before where I've lost all the weight and then gained it back many times. And I was really worried about when school started that I would give up the exercise because I do that a lot. I'll exercise over the summer. I'll be really good. And then school starts and I get busy or I just don't want to. And then I just stop. Like I'll be good for like 2 weeks and then I'll stop. And so now I have these goals that my coach has set, and I will like, sometimes it's because it's really fun to play that supernatural game, but sometimes I really don't want to. And I know I need to do it at least 4 days a week. So it's like, oh, I only have 3 more days to get 2 more in. So
2 more in what? What would be
like of my goals? Like I might get two exercises in early, and then like when my week is running out, because we review like once a week. When my week is running out, it's like, oh, I only have 3 days left. I have to do it today. So
amazing. So motivation, accountability, and this mindset of goal setting towards someone. But tell us a little, what was for you then once you actually work with the coach? Clearly, it worked because everything you described earlier about what to do is kind of a little bit the textbook of how it should be done, and the result obviously speak for themselves. A pound a week lost by doing kind of all this stuff. What were ultimately the benefits you got from working with a coach?
Part of what I really love, what I love about it is I have someone to talk to every day about this because I think everyone else was getting tired of hearing it. So I can put like my wins, I guess, in there, things that I've done that are exciting because of the weight loss. Like when I got my ID for school this year and compared it to last year's, it was like, wow, there's such a difference. So I shared that with her. I shared the picture with her. But also, just like I said, setting the goals. And we work together to set the goals. So it's not like she picks them. We meet, and so I get to meet with her twice a month too, like in person, talking like we are. So that's really helpful. So we can kind of work things out. But it was really like the goal setting and like sticking to the goals. And like, I'm kind of one of those like left brain type people that like, if there's something out there I need to do, I want to check off the marks. So I want to get those goals met every week. So we keep them reasonable, but I really meet the goals.
So kind of having the motivation and accountability to someone to speak to and really work, translate that into goals. And maybe, again, for the audience, I'll clarify, weight loss is one of these big themes. That's like, I need to do all of these things. And in fact, I think what you are referring to is this approach of breaking things down. Okay, 4 protein-rich breakfasts, 4 resistance training. And it's right that probably these goals were added gradually for you,
I would say, like making one change at a time. I mean, it's been 15, 16 months since I started. So I'm doing a lot of these things now, but I didn't do all of them at first. So like the fiber wasn't something I did. Exercise wasn't something that I did. But the biggest one was writing everything down. But then I know, like, I'm going to put in my calorie total. I let her know like how much I ate, how much fiber I got every day. So I know that I'm going to be doing that. But I also appreciate so much that she comments on it and she has positive things to say. She's given me new ideas of things. And like when I was having trouble getting the fiber up, she's suggesting things. Some of them were like, no, I'm not going to try that. But like oatmeal, another thing I won't eat. But we did finally come up with some things that I will eat that works, like beans, carrots, the apple, and there's some other fruits and stuff. That strawberries are good for that.
Nice. I'm gonna start taking some questions from people attending. Let me just have a quick look here. Oh yeah, for people starting weight loss medication now, what advice would you give them in general?
Keep your expectations reasonable. Don't expect it to do the work for you because it's not. It's going to help you do the work, but you still have to do the work. So you have to write. I mean, I really believe you have to write everything down in an app or on paper, even if you just take a picture of what you ate and picture journal, something, so that you have that awareness of what you're eating. But I would say, start with a low dose and move up if you need to, but if you don't need to, just keep at it. And then journal everything. And then eventually, when you can, exercise. Start small. Everything, start small. Like I said, start with even if your calorie goal was 3,000 calories a day, I mean, I'm sure I was eating more than that too. So go to 2,500 or something.
Yeah. And what is your plan for by the way, if people want to ask more questions, feel free to do so in whatever chat you are. We are centralizing it, so it's fine. But what is your future plans with GLP medication?
I believe I'm going to be on it probably for life if I can afford it. But I do believe I'm going to lower the dose at some point, or be able to lower the dose at some point, and maybe spread out the shots or something, like every 2 weeks instead of every week. I do want to lower the amount that I'm taking 12.5 milligrams now. So I'd really rather be at like 5 if I can still maintain at that point. But it's taken this much time to make these lifestyle changes, and I don't think they're even ingrained yet. So I think I need more time.
So this is a follow-up question for me. So is the trigger point to decide whether to lower your doses the extent to which you feel that the lifestyle changes are more ingrained and become part of your routine?
Yeah, I'm looking at like when I get to 275 or 175, which is what my goal is, and I try to maintain that. If I can maintain that for like maybe 6 months, then start looking at lowering the dose. And by then, because I don't think that's going to happen until like spring, by then I will have spent 1.5 years or 2 years with these changes. They should be ingrained, but like I also have 58 years of not doing this, right? So because I'm 59 now, so I mean I have those habits. Those poor habits are ingrained. I need to switch to these healthier habits.
Yeah, they say it takes 21 days to change a habit. I don't think it's been completely scientifically backed. I don't think it takes for life, but I think it takes more than 21 days.
Yeah, it does. But like I said, I will make a change, stick with that for a while, then make another change, stick with that for a while, and just prioritize what those changes are.
Yeah. If you had to boil it down in terms of lifestyle changes to the top 3 things that are different, I mean, I heard you clearly say, write down your food. That sounds like the number one. what else? Like, what is the big lifestyle change that makes the biggest difference? Because there's so many things we hear, right? What was it for you?
Well, writing everything down, trying to keep the calorie range that's a deficit for you, but also having that social network, and getting that support from others. My husband is super, super supportive. So having like someone you can talk to that understands, and that you can share things with. So like I said, the coaching has been really helpful. And then eventually exercises, you're going to have to. It's just something you're going to need to do at some point or start doing.
And then one more maybe.
Me, one more.
No, there was one. I'm reading one more. Sorry, no.
One more question. Okay.
That is interesting here around. Would you recommend always taking GLP-1 along lifestyle medication, or should I have a go at just trying to change my routines?
I think it's going to depend on the person. I have spent so many years overeating that it really helps me to have it. So I think I'm going to be on it for life. I think some people titrate down to a lower dose and then eventually get off of it, which would be nice. But I've also lost a lot of this weight before and gained it back, and I'm absolutely not going to do that this time. So
insurance policy.
Insurance policy, exactly. So I know it's really intimidating to say, well, I'm going to start this medication and be on it for life, but it's not a short-term fix. Even if you only had like 50 pounds to lose, when you lose that, if you haven't really ingrained those lifestyle changes, then you're going to gain it back. Now you're going to be unaware. Like writing down everything that you eat keeps me with the awareness. So when you start becoming unaware of what you're doing, you gain 10 pounds and then you gain 10 more, and eventually you're back to where you started and then some, which got me to 350 pounds.
Yeah. It's been an incredible discussion. I've learned so much. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your insight with us.
Sure.
Do you think there's a topic we did not cover that you want to, share, or any advice that? Not to put you on the spot, of course.
Yeah.
If we've covered enough, of course, just in case there's something that you want.
Yeah, I mean, still like work with your doctor too, like the doctor that prescribed the medication. I work with her, and they keep track of me and what I'm doing like monthly. So that's also good to know that there's that. And like as you lose the weight, get your blood test and those kinds of things. And like my A1C went from like 5.6, which was right on the edge of diabetes, to 5.3, and I expect it'll go down.
Amazing.
Yeah.
In fact, that was one thing maybe as a closing thought that I wanted to ask you is, beyond the number on the scale, what changed for you? Now, you've mentioned obviously the predisposition to the diabetes, but in terms of how you feel or anything, what were the benefits of making all these changes, including the lifestyle changes, by the way?
Right. Well, now I can exercise. I can pick up things off the floor while I'm sitting in a chair, which is a little thing, but it's a big thing to me. I can actually put my socks and shoes on easier now. So there's just a lot of those little wins. I'm super excited because I wear a size 16 now, but my next size down, which I bought a few size 14s, I was super excited to buy them in the regular people's store. The regular people sizes and not the plus sizes. So that was like a huge win for me. And I'm not into the 14s yet, but I have them and I'm really excited to get there.
Amazing. Kim, thank you again. And it's a very inspiring story, and I'm sure more to come. Thanks for the time, everyone. I hope you had a good experience as we did listening to Kim, and looking also forward for continuing to help you in your journey and get inspired by you.
Thank you. It was nice talking to you.
Likewise, Kim. Thank you. Bye, everyone. Bye, Kim.